Pregame.com.
Belmont Stakes on Saturday. I'll Have Another's going for racing history. Dave, does he get it?
I don't think so. The Triple Crown is just, it is such a grueling series, and he's had to run in all three. He's got new shooters coming at him, facing 11 horses. I think he's up against it.
Well, I'm definitely going to be looking for value in the race. I always do. I can tell you, as a horse owner and a horse fan, I would love nothing more to see a Triple Crown winner. The sport needs it badly, but that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later. I'll Have Another. I think the big problem he's going to have in this race is there's no Bodemeister. And Bodemeister was kind of like Rocky's Apollo Creed or Apollo Creed's Rocky pushing one another. People are going to look and say, you know, Bodemeister was there. He was a tough horse on the front end. Right. I'll Have Another, you know, chased him down both of the races. So now with no Bodemeister in there and not a legitimate front runner that's as tough as Bodemeister, this should be easier for I'll Have Another to run him down. I can tell you in the horse racing world, and you can attest to this, sometimes when a horse doesn't have anybody left to pass and it's a little bit early, they get, you know, complacent, and they just, you know, they start looking around and waiting for somebody. They think the race is over, and I think that that could be a problem. I think I'll Have Another will have the lead in the stretch, but I think he's going to get caught at the wire.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you know, a lot of people are going to be saying, and I would usually say this with a mile and a half race, it'll be run more like a turf race, slow early fractions, and so it would really set up for I'll Have Another. But I think there's going to be more speed in this race than a lot of people are thinking. The new shooters, Unstoppable You, Painter, and My Adonis, they all like being out front, and I think they will go out front. I think that's their only chance in this race. And a lot's going to depend on Mario Gutierrez, the jockey on I'll Have Another, whether he feels forced to go with them and not get too far back. Because they might open up at 5 lengths, which he's not used to seeing either. So I think the pace could be faster than he's used to, and I think he might set up more for a bigger closer.
Well, let's go to the jockey for a second, because there's a ton of pressure on this young kid. I mean, he's racing in New York. He's not familiar with Belmont, and as it's affectionately known, Big Sandy. This is a tiring racetrack. I mean, it's got big sweeping turns, you know, long stretch. If you make your move too soon in the Belmont, you're not going to have any horse left for the wire. And you can, I've heard hundreds of interviews with Gary Stevens. He still regrets on Silver Charm. He made his move too soon in that race, and he feels that's what cost Silver Charm the Triple Crown that year. And a lot of pressure going to be on this kid. And when you are going for the Triple Crown, you don't want to get your horse boxed in. You don't want to get into traffic troubles, and you don't want to be run out of racetrack. So sometimes you do push that button too soon. Right. Do you think that could be a problem for him?
Oh, absolutely. That's what a lot of people say cost Smarty Jones the Triple Crown as well, making them move too early. And again, the horse, you know, these horses don't run a mile and a half races. I mean, the horse might want to just go. You know, they get it in their head. They're in a rhythm, get a routine. I mean, the horses probably want to go. Will he be able to hold them back and wait to make that run? Yeah. And then once they get in the stretch, like you said, I think he will get the lead. But such a long stretch, boy,
it's going to think he's done.
Right. He's going to be thinking he's done, and you're going to have other horses that are bred more for the distance coming late, and we'll talk about those in a bit.
All right. One last thing we've got to talk about with I'll Have Another, and it's, you know, it's out there. It's, you know, the pink elephant in the room, so to speak. But the trainer, he's facing an impending suspension. It's going to take place conveniently in July, you know, so he can make his run here and for the Triple Crown. But I'm not saying I'll Have Another has gotten anything. I don't want to say that, you know, make that accusation at all. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be looking very closely at this race. because one thing I can guarantee you, we can't guarantee you if he's had anything in any of these other races, but we can guarantee he's going to be racing on nothing but hay and sunshine on Saturday because of the scrutiny that he's going to be under. And all of the horses, starting on Wednesday, have been under in a detention barn, 24-hour surveillance. So, you know, nothing can be given to these horses. You know, they're under the watch of the state racing, you know, commission there. So,
right.
What do you think? You know,
I mean, yeah, if he's the real deal and he wins, he removes all doubt.
Right.
That's what Doug O'Neill definitely wants and needs. Obviously, yeah, we could go on and on about the accusations and past suspensions of O'Neill and all that. Yeah, they cleared him of the milkshaking in California, but then they still suspended him because they said oxygen levels were high under his watch, so they got to suspend him. So it's it's a very gray area.
There's only one way to increase the oxygen level on the horse, and that is by the practice of milkshaking. And but they didn't call it that. But like you said, why did they give him the suspension?
Right, but again, it wasn't for this horse either.
Yeah,
so
right.
So again, that might not even be an issue here. But I mean, it's obviously going to be getting a lot of talk this weekend. You know, win or lose, and we'll see if he's the right horse.
Bottom line is he has the credentials to win the race.
Right.
He's going to be way overpriced, and we're going to talk about that in the Triple Crown segment that we do, the video of why these Triple Crown horses are overbet so much. There's value elsewhere, and as a fan, I'd like to see him win.
Agreed.
But as a bettor, ain't going to happen. My money's going to be on another horse, and we'll be talking about those. And me and you have some live long shots in this race. That's it for I'll Have Another. We're going to be back. We're going to look at the contenders. We're going to look at Dullahan next. He's one of the big contenders in this race here for Saturday's Belmont on pregame.tv.